All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight, we'll bring you round number 2 of the Volusia Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards 360 Wing Sprint Car Series, live from Volusia Speedway Park. My name is Brett Wheeler. Thank you for joining us here on the Tuesday evening. Something a little different, and it's being tested in the Masters of Dirt series that they do on a Monday night. Tonight, we go to a heat racing format. Normally we see group qualifying. However, tonight, it'll be solo qualifying. Each driver getting 2 laps. Now, they'll be all on the racetrack on their own. So we'll be able to see who's on the racetrack at what time, and we'll have our top 10 qualifiers on the left hand side of your screen as per usual. So the first car you can see right there, now you'll hear a lot of cars going at the same time, but the first car we have, or the first car we're looking at in the Wicked Cushion, Colby's Eye Paints, UW Motorsports, Next Gen Fab, Ultimate Dirt TV, car number 70, and it's Chris Brenner. Chris Brenner with a 14.583. You see Stephen Menor with a 14.378. Now these are going to chop and change throughout this qualifying session. There is 2 minutes in this qualifying session. Chris Brenner goes quick time with a 14.299. You're watching the one of Joshua Renshaw on the racetrack. Joshua Renshaw in car number 1. With a 14.823. Trevor Royer in the 90. 16th quick. So Tim Smith at the moment with a 14.293 sits in position number 1. You're watching Anthony Lopresto in the Wicked Cushion. Lopresto Racing, UW Motorsports, 257. First time for Lopresto, 10th quick with a 14.386. A 14.386. We'll see what Lopresto can do on lap number 2. Slower in the 33, it's Brian 5 with a 14.527. In the 88, Sean McGinniskin, his first lap time. Lopresto just doing a lap there, and there we go. It is now qualifying done and dusted. We roll straight into heat racing competition. Now we take the top 4. They will go on to the main event. The top 4 from each heat race. I believe we'll have 5 or 4 heat races here this evening. So we'll waste no time in getting the action underway. Yeah, so this is, as I said, this is being tested in the Masters of Dirt series, and something that these guys have been trying to test for quite some time. And we'll have a C and B main, and we'll roll on through the program through that way. As I've done for the past couple of broadcasts for these guys, for the guys that know what I'm on about. I'll just adjust the wheelchair here, a little bit uncomfortable, but it is what it is, boys. This one's for you. Crack open a nice coldie. Heat race number 1, 10 laps on the board. Yellow flags are on. So if we see a caution, it will chew into the amount of laps we have under green flag conditions for heat races and the constellation races only. The main event, yellow laps will not count. Here we go. Starting on the pole in car number 38 in the Wicked Cushion, number 38, it is Tim Smith. To his outside in the Black Diamonds Motorsports, car number 421, it's Britton Roxbury. At a position number 3 in the Trick Race Path, BK Designs 115, it's Stephen Renard. To the outside in car number 27, at a position 4 in the Wicked Cushion 27, it's Michael Sheridan. Dylan Workman in car number 82, a new livery for Dylan Workman in the Buffalo Wild Wings. Car number 82 will start out of position number 5. In the Team SETI Group Holdings, car number 97, the Wicked Cushion entry, also the 97 of Matthew Henninger. Out of position 7, the 17 of Jesse King and Scott Tyler. Car number 34 will start out of position number 8. We get set for the first heat race of the night. And it is time to get after it here in the Volusia Corporation 360 Wing Sprint Car Series at Volusia. We are green and we'll try and keep an eye on that fourth and final transfer spot as Tim Smith will lead down the back straight away into turns 3 and 4. Britton Roxbury in second. Third is Stephen Renaud. Michael Sheridan holding on to the fourth and final transfer spot. Dylan Workman trying to make his way into a top 4 and get directly into the main event. However, Matthew Henninger, he is right in behind him as well. And the 97 tries to make a pass on the inside in turns 3 and 4, but can't make it happen. Track is juiced up right now. Track has had a reset from practice, and it will carry over for the rest of the night. So we'll see this track start to widen up, but your race leader right now on the 38 is starting to pull about half a second between himself and second place driver of Britton Roxbury, Tim Smith, your race leader. You can see on screen the 115 of Stephen Renaud back in position number 3. Cuts down to the low side off of turn number 4. 4 down, 6 to run in the opening heat race of the night. Plenty of racing to come here. I think we're going to have 4 heat races in a total. And the top 4 will go to the main event. The rest of the guys will go into either a C or a B main. And we'll take the top 8 from the B main. Roxbury getting pressure from the 115 of Stephen Renaud. 6 down, 4 to go. Tim Smith continues to lead. Sheridan comfortable in position 4. 5th is Dylan Workman. 1 spot out of a transfer. Henninger in the 97 in position number 6 right now. 7th is Jesse King and Scott Tyler in position number 8. So the opening heat of the night. And we've still got a good 2-car tussle here for second and third. You can almost throw in 4th place driver Michael Sheridan. He's not quite there, but he is there now in turns 1 and 2 from left of your screen. Well, that is second place in the 421. That is Britton Roxbury. Stephen Renaud continuing to ride in position 3. Oh, Sheridan at the right front. Almost caught the left rear big time. The white flag is out. And the final lap down the back straight away in the Wicked Cushion, car number 38 for UW Motorsports. Tim Smith comes across the line in first place. Second will go to Roxbury. Third, Renaud. 4th is going to be Sheridan. And those 4 drivers to the main event. Dylan Workman, Matthew Henninger, Jesse King, and Scott Tyler. We will see them later on this evening in a C and B main. We might not even have a C. It might just be straight up a B main. And heat race number 2, wasting no time getting on to the racetrack. We'll wait for the cars. We can to the lap, but we'll wait for the cars to get onto the racetrack. So this should be an absolute bell ringer, the front 2 rows. So starting on the pole in car number 70 in the Wicked Cushion entry for UW Motorsports, Colby's iPads Next Gen Fab Ultimate Dirt TV, the 70 of Chris Brenner. In the Black Diamonds Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV Hammer Down car number 35, it is John Batista. Inside row number 2 in the Lepresto Racing Wicked Cushion Ultimate Dirt TV, Colby's iPads Next Gen Fab, it's the 57 of Anthony Lepresto. To his outside, his brother in the Wicked Cushion UW Motorsports Colby's iPads Next Gen Fab Ultimate Dirt TV 56, it is John Lepresto. At a position 5 in car number 5 in the Superflow entry, it is Tyler Curtis. Tyler Curtis out of position 5, out of position 6 in the Dirt Track and Bastards DTV Dirty Old Bastards Bluesphere Corporation Wicked Cushion Ultimate Dirt TV number 77, it is Aaron Schaefer. Aaron Schaefer in the 77. At a position 7 in the 26, Trevor Hunker. And at a position at number 8 in car number 66, in the green, black, and yellow machine, it's Donald Satterfield. Donald Satterfield in car number 66. So the front 3 positions of this one have all got their pro licenses in the sprint cars. So this should be an absolute belter of a race. Heat number 2, 10 laps on the board. Another 4 to get put into the main event. 4 will go on to the consolation races. Brenner has the field to start, and we are green. Brenner will lead into 1 and 2. Batista in second position, getting a run on Brenner down the back straightaway. They are very even right now. Anthony Lopresto in position number 3, and here comes Aaron Schaefer now, up into position number 4. He got a good start, and he's into a transfer spot. Can he hang on? We'll go back towards our race leaders right now. Chris Brenner holding off John Batista in turns 3 and 4. The opening a couple of laps belong to the driver of the number 70. And the Wicked Cushion car 7-0, Batista in second. He is hanging with your race leader. A couple of car lengths away from Brenner in turns 3 and 4. In fact, it's 0.266 of a second as they went across the start-finish line. Lopresto, he's almost a second behind, 9/10 exactly down the back straightaway. 4th belongs to the 77 of Aaron Schaefer. And he's just got that car nice and straight and doing everything he can, dotting his I's and crossing his T's to try and get it into tonight's main event. Heat number 2, Zane Scott. Heat 2, Chris Brenner will lead, and we are halfway home. Batista in second, starting to fall off just a little bit, almost 7/10 of a second now between Batista and Brenner. Then you go back to Lopresto, who's starting to close the gap on John Batista for position number 2. Position 4 is Aaron Schaefer, started on the 3rd row and has made his way up to position 4, so picking up a transfer in tonight's main event. 3 laps to run. John Lopresto is on the outside, trying to look in and trying to regain that 4th spot and trying to claim a spot into tonight's main event rather than having to race in a B main. The way it stands, he will start outside of the front row in the B main, but that's not where you want to be. You want to lock yourself into the main event. Into 3 and 4 for the penultimate time off of turn number 4. The white flag is out for your race leader, Chris Brenner, in car number 70. John Batista still in second. Anthony Lopresto 3rd, and Aaron Schaefer in 4th. But into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Heat race number 2 belongs to Chris Brenner. He gets the job done. Second will go to Batista, Lopresto. That's Anthony in 3rd. Aaron Schaefer in 4th. We will see in the main event John Lopresto, Trevor Huinka, Tyler Curtis, and Donald Satterfield. We're at 8 cars in that one. As heat number 3, almost said 4 then. Heat number 3 on the racetrack right now in the Black Diamonds Motorsports. Iron Aces hammer down. V2R entry, it is Nathan Davis. Nathan Davis starts on the pole position. To his outside in the Team SETI Group Holdings Wicked Cushion 127, it is Stephen Hill. Number change for this guy was leading the feature race last week at Knoxville. In the RDS Racing Chassis Precise number 16, it is Craig Dunn, who will start at a position number 3. At a position 4 also with a number change here on the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, Blue Sphere Corporation, Ultimate Dirt TV, Wicked Cushion. Car number 6, it's Jonathan Lowe. At a position 5 in the Pace Motorsports 44, it is Ryan Pace. And to his outside in the car number 21 in the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, Blue Sphere Corporation, it is Tyler Henselman. Tyler Henselman out of position number 6. In the Steel Cycle eBay 30, normally runs a 005, but this time he's gone with number 30. It is Brandon Steele who will start at a position number 7. And in the LNS Express Car number 15 with the wicked cushion on the side of that one. It is Drew Neal. Drew Neal out of position number 8. Heat number 3 on the board. 10 more laps. The distance here this evening.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out and we are underway. Here in heat race number 3, Nathan Davis leading into turn number 1 and 2. Jonathan Lowe in position 4. He's got his teammate Tyler Henselman behind him. Ryan Pace on the inside in the 44, looking to pick up position number 4 and looking for that 4th and final transfer spot. Craig Dunn holding on to position 3. And now we've got a 3-car battle for that final transfer spot. Pace up to position number 4. Now Henselman on the inside of Lowe into turns 1 and 2. Neal on the inside of Steele. Battle between the two teammates right now. Henselman down low. Lowe up top. Racing for 5th and 6th. 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Brandon Steele stuck his nose into the mix. And Henselman and Lowe continuing to race side by side, but what they're doing, they're allowing the 44 of Ryan Pace to sneak away from them. Now battle for second. Here comes Craig Dunn on the inside with a big slider into turn number 1 and 2. He will pick up position number 2. Stephen Hill trying to come back and fight back on the inside into turns 3 and 4. Halfway home in heat race number 3. Slider from Hill on Ryan Pace. Pace already got the crossover. Going into turn number 1, but out of turn 2, it's Stephen Hill who is back in position number 3. Oh no, Lowe got into the left rear there of Tyler Henselman, but they both kept it going. Drew Neal, the LNS Express wicked cushion 15, is trying to make a run for it up to position number 6, but this is a battle for 3rd and 4th right now. Stephen Hill with 3 to go in position number 3. Nathan Davis, he is gone. He is just checked out right now. He's got over a second lead over the 16 of Craig Dunn. And then he's got 0.8 of a second back to Stephen Hill and Ryan Pace. Tyler Henselman back there in position number 5 with 2. Make that 1.5 to go. Down the back straight away. Ryan Pace trying to put the slide job on Stephen Hill. Hill crosses back underneath him now. 1 lap to go. Into turns 1 and 2. Whoa, that was close there by Hill, but Pace kept the foot in the bucket. Into turns 3 and off a corner number 4. Nathan Davis getting the job done. 2nd will go to Dunn. 3rd will go to Pace. 4th is going to be Stephen Hill. Henselman will just miss out. We'll see him in the B main with Jonathan Lowe, Drew Neal, and Brandon Steele. Heat number 3 done and dusted. We roll on to, I believe, what is our 4th and final heat race of the night. Whew, that was, man, you get no rest here. With these heat races, they just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. In car number 13, Nelson Webster. Nelson Webster in the Tony Stewart Racing number 13 will start on pole to the outside of the Team SETI Group Holdings wicked cushion car number 22. With the Colby's eye paint on board, it's Jason Nygaard at a position 3 in car number 93 in the Dirt Tracking Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards. Blue Sphere Corporation wicked cushion Ultimate TV number 93. It is Chris Roberts to his outside. And the Cat Diesel powered Roush Yates Performance car number 222. It is Weston Newell. In the Black Diamonds Motorsports, hammer down car number 90. It is Trevor Royer. Trevor Royer in car number 90. To his outside in position number 6 in car number 33, Brian Fine. Brian Fine in car number 33 out of position 6. Out of position 7, it's the one of Joshua Renshaw. And out of position 8 will be the 88 of Sean McGinniskin. 4th and final heat race of the night. Nygaard and Webster, your front row. Webster will have control of the field and he will go anytime from now on. There we go. Green flag is out and we are racing. Webster got a great launch track starting to just to slick it off just a little bit right now. Newell around the outside of Roberts. Roberts back to position number 4, but Royer on the outside looking in and trying to pick up that fourth and final transfer spot across the line. We're going to give it to, it was a dead heat across the line between Royer and Roberts. Royer up to position number 4 now, sitting in the final transfer spot. He will start out of position 16 in tonight's main event if he can hang on. So still plenty of racing, plenty of passing for that 90 machine in the Black Diamonds Motorsports. Battle on for the race lead, and Jason Nygaard on the outside. Webster with a slide job, and Nygaard with a nice little crossover into turn number 1 and 2. Nygaard with the slide job into 1 and 2. And once again, Nygaard has the race lead down the back straight away, and here comes Nelson Webster. Man, Nygaard has been shot out of a cannon, and he's your race leader looking to pick up a win and start out of position number 4 for tonight's main event. Webster rolling through the middle of turns 3 and 4. He's now going to have pressure from the 222 of Western Newell. Now this is the difference between 8th and 12th. If you finish 2nd, you start 8th. If you finish 3rd, you start 12th. So each position on the racetrack right now is 4 positions in tonight's main event. Nygaard leads at the halfway stage of heat race number 4. Webster maybe showing some signs of a bit of a rust here when it comes to the racecraft. It's been a while since I've seen the 13 on the racetrack. But we welcome him back anyway. He's still doing a nice job in 2nd position. 3rd is Western Newell. 4th, Trevor Royer in car number 90. He's put about a 1.6 second advantage between himself and the 93 of Chris Roberts. Webster and Newell, they almost made contact, and now Newell to the bottom side trying to slide up to the top of the racetrack. The white flag is out for your race leader, Jason Nygaard. 2 more turns to go into turn number 3 and off a corner number 4. Jason Nygaard and the team SETI Group Holdings, Wicked Cushion, Colby's Eye Paints, number 22 getting the job done. Webster 2nd, 3rd is Newell, Royer 4th. See those drivers in the main event: Roberts, McGinniskin, Renshaw, and Brian Fine. In this one, and I dare say this is our C main here this evening, and I believe we'll take our top 2. Let me just get confirmation from Race Control. Be right back. Alright, so getting confirmation, this is tonight's C main. We will take the top 4 from tonight's C main, put them into the back of the B main, and then we'll take the top 8 from the B main and put them into the back of the main event. Your C main lineup looks like this in car number 6, starting on the pole. And the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, Wicked Cushion, car number 6. It's John Lowe in car number 6. To his outside in car number 88, it's Sean McGinniskin in car number 88 at a position number 2. At a position 3 in car number 17, Jesse King in car number 13 at a position 3. Tyler Curtis in the 5 car will start at a position 4. In the 15 at a position number 5, it is Drew Neal in the 15. At a position 6 in the 1 car, it is Joshua Renshaw. In car number 1 will start out of position 6. At a position 7, the 34 of Scott Tyler. He will line up alongside the 66 of Donald Satterfield in car 66. At a position number 9, the 30 of Brandon Steele will line up alongside the 33 of Brian Fine. And that'll be our C main cars here this evening. 12 laps the distance.
Green, green, green.
And green flag is out, and we're underway in tonight's C-Main. Low leading into 1 and 2, 3 wide, and here we go. Curtis on the outside, the 17 of Jesse King in 4th, and Drew Neal now up into position 4 on the bottom side of the racetrack. Top 4 will advance, and the L&S Express Wicked Cushion number 15 now challenging for position number 3. Oh, Curtis! He got together with McGinniskin. McGinniskin around. Yellow flag is not out, and we are staying green. So yellow flag's not on for the C-Main, so they're going to race it out to the end. So our top spot belongs to Jonathan Lowe. John Lowe in the 6th car. Drew Neal in the 15. Then we go back to Jesse King and Brandon Steele battling it out for 3rd and 4th. I believe that was Brandon Steele who had it. Looking by the naked eye just then, probably had it by a front bumper bar, or front nerve bar I should say. And Jesse King in the 15, looking to continue on to the B main. 4 laps down, 8 laps to go. John Lowe out in front, Drew Neal in position number 2. And there is the caution, the 34 of Scott Tyler. And the Novak Designs Revtronic MRT. Warren Racing Team will have a look at the Colby's Eye Paint's instant replay to see what happened here. Just got up over the cushion and brings out the yellow flag. The leader's just getting on by, just on by. So Little Butts' field back up. And we'll have Jonathan Lowe, our race leader. So our first caution of the C-Main. Waiting on the lights to turn off. In fact, they'll go off next time by. So we're still on 2 to green. So we'll have 3 laps left to run in tonight's C-Main. The top 4 will advance to the back of the B. So I believe we're going to have a 12-car B main, and it'll be the cars that finish 3rd and 4th in B main. Finish 3rd and 4th in the heats that will line up the B main. Cars that finish 5th on back are obviously in tonight's C main. Here we go, single file. John Lowe, your race leader with 3 laps left to run when we get the green flag this time by. Ryan Fine in position number 5. He's 1 spot out of a transfer right now. As here we go, green this time by. John Lowe, Drew Neal, Brandon Steele, and then Jesse King as well.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out on the racetrack, and with just 3 laps left to run, there's no time to make a mistake, and a mistake happened to be from the 30 of Brandon Steele. As here is Jesse King in the 17 on the top side of the racetrack. I see checkers have been thrown, so it looks like it was just a 1-lap shootout. Not sure why. It was telling me that there was 2 to go, but anyhow, nonetheless, we have a 10-car B main will take our top 8, so 2 drivers will miss out, and 2 drivers from the C main at a minimum will get to the main event. So our B main lineup will consist of right now the 82, the Buffalo Wild Wings, car number 82, Dylan Workman, will start on pole. To his outside in the Wicked Cushion, UW Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV, Colby's Eye Paint, Next Gen Fab 56, it is John Lopresto. At a position number 3 in car number 21 in the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, Blue Sphere Corporation, Ultimate Dirt TV, Wicked Cushion number 21. It is Tyler Henselman. To his outside, his teammate in car number 93. It is Chris Roberts. Chris Roberts in the 93 at a position number 4. At a position 5 in the Team City Group Holdings, car number 97. Wicked Cushion on board on that one as well. It is Matthew Henninger out of position number 5. At a position 6 in at 49 entry. 49 on the side of that race car, car 26. Trevor Hinka? Trevor, apologise, let me know how to pronounce your name right, otherwise I'm going to keep butchering it until you tell me. At a position 7, the C-Main winner in the DTV DOB Blue Sphere Corporation Wicked Cushion number 6, it is John Lowe, the LNS Express of Drew Neal, with Wicked Cushion on board. We'll start at a position number 8, Brandon Steele and Jesse King. Line up out of position 9 and 10. 15 laps on the board.
Green, green, green.
Wow, he went really early. I wonder if that one sticks, but 15 on the board. In fact, it might only be 12, so I'm not sure why it's saying 14 to go, but it might only be 12 laps on the board, so we'll keep an eye on that one throughout the night. Now, top 8 will go on. Remember, our top 8 will advance. Henselman into position number 3. Now looking and coming after John Lepresto for position number 2. Henninger and Roberts right behind them, battling it out for 4th and 5th. You got John Lowe and Drew Neal also making a statement up in position 6 and 7th, as those two drivers are looking to continue their alphabet soup run here this evening. Each car you pass in the B-Main is a car you don't necessarily have to pass in tonight's main event, and 3 wide Henninger in the middle of a DTB sandwich right now. Here comes Drew Neal behind them, and Trevor Monk, that Brandon Steele into position number 8, as Steele looks to keep his chances alive for tonight's main event. Your race leader is Dylan Workman in car number 82. Second is Lepresto. Third is Henselman on screen right now. Low in position 4, but not for long, because here comes Roberts back fighting on the outside in position number 5 and looking to come off that 4th spot. Henninger in the 97 in position 6 now on the inside. There was almost contact. Man, that was close. Oh, there was a little contact. Roberts got out of the gas. And in comes Drew Neal and also Brandon Steele. Roberts shuffle back from 4th. They're 3 wide down into turn number 1 and 2. Just under a handful of laps remaining here in the B main. And battle for second again as Henselman trying to work on the inside of John Lepresto. Lepresto in the black and blue. Oh! He gets into the wall. He loses 2 positions. Henselman to position 2, Lowe to position 3. And what a drive by John Lowe from 7th up to position number 3. Henninger work on that top side of the racetrack, trying to get around the outside of Brandon Steele. Man, I hope the A-Main is as good as this right now. Henninger shut the door on Drew Neal coming off of corner number 4. Neal got off the gas and had to get on the brakes. 6th and 7th right there. Henninger into position 6 as Neal going to fight back on the outside. Just in front of them is Brandon Steele, and just behind them is your 8th and final transfer car of Chris Roberts. The checkered flag is out this time by for your leader, Dylan Workman, in getting the job done. Henselman, John Lowe, John Lepresto, Brandon Steele, Matt Henninger, Chris Roberts, and Drew Neal. Our top 8, Trevor Hinka and Jesse King, will not be in tonight's main event. And hopefully this is going to work. Your City Group Holdings starting grid, starting on the pole. In car number 38, Tim Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
To his outside, his teammate in car 70, Chris Brenner.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh yeah, it is that time out of position number 3 in the 36 of Nathan Davis. He lines up alongside the 13 of Nelson Webster. No, he doesn't. He lines up alongside the 22 of Jason Nygaard. Out of position 5 will be Britton Roxbury to his outside. His teammate in car number 35. It is John Batista. At a position 7, it's the 16 of Craig Dunn lining up alongside Nelson Webster, Stephen Renaud and Anthony Lopresto, Ryan Pace and Weston Newell, Michael Sheridan, Aaron Schaefer, Stephen Hill out of 15, Trevor Royer 16, 17 will be John Lowe, Tyler Henselman, Brandon Steele, Matthew Henninger, Drew Neal, Chris Roberts, Dylan Workman, I believe, being given an EOL for the jump start in that B main. $35 laps on the board for tonight's Twin 35s here at Volusia. Round number 2, race number 1, about to kick off. Chris Brenner and Tim Smith. A couple of teammates on the front row. It is time to get after it. 35 laps on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green here at Volusia. Smith got a good job, and let's see if we can get through turns 1 and 2 A-OK. Everyone seems to be all good for the moment. Through turns 3 and 4, Sheridan, wow. There is a lot of tight racing in the back of the racetrack right now. 3 wide near the front, 3 wide through the middle. Oh no! And there's our first accident of the night. And somehow we are still green for the moment. And there is the caution. In car number 6, Jonathan Lowe. Have a look at the Colby's iPads instant replay here. You just see, I think it was Royer and Hill. Left front. Sorry, left rear met to right front. Brandon Steele came through. Matthew Henninger had nowhere to go. And the 6th of John Lowe just reversing until the caution flag came out. So Drew Neal back in the pits, unfortunately, along with Matthew Henninger, John Lowe as well. So we've lost 3 cars. John Lopresto, the last car on the lead lap as well. He is still A-OK in 21st position. And our first caution of the night here in tonight's main event. So it's going to be thanks to our sponsors here at Ultimate Dirt TV. We want to thank Colby's iPaints for coming on board for the instant replays, and also SETI Group Holdings as well for coming on board for the starting grid and also finishing results for the rest of the season as well. Can't thank those guys enough for jumping on board with Ultimate Dirt TV. As leaked earlier on, we're going to have some exciting news to share hopefully within the next 24 hours. So if you're not already, make sure you are watching us live on Facebook. That's where we are live right now. If you haven't already, give us a like, give us a follow. And if you haven't done so already, head over to youtube.com/Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll have all of the Blue Sphere Corporation and Wicked Cushion Sprint Car Races up on YouTube. We've got about, I think, 5-6 videos that we've got to get uploaded, so plenty of content
Green flag, green
to get
flag.
done. Green flag is back out, and Tim Smith, the race leader from Nathan Davis, Britton Roxbury, John Batista, and Jason Nygaard, your top 5. Slider for the lead from Davis on Smith. Into 3 and 4, Davis runs the low side. Smith on the top side of the racetrack. Batista and Roxbury there, side by side. Into turns 1 and 2, 3 wide for the race lead. Batista on the bottom side. He's now going to lose a third spot to Britton Roxbury in the 421. Nygaard in position 5. Then you go back to Chris Brenner in position number 6. He has got Steve Renaud in behind him. Renaud puts a slider on Brenner. Renaud into the wall. Here comes Ryan Pace. Renaud, well done to not hit that opening on the back straightaway. This battle for the race lead is heating up right now. It's hard to go back any further right now because Smith, well, he was fending off a charge from Davis as the caution flag flies. We've got the 93 of Chris Roberts around. Let's take a look at a Colby's iPaint's instant replay. Just coming up into the, just sliding to the top of the racetrack, and Henselman, well, we'll call that a bit of a racing deal. His 2 teammates. Henselman got a run on the cushion. Roberts was sort of stuck in no man's land in the middle of the racetrack, trying to get up there, and unfortunately for Roberts, he's turned around, but thankfully he's still a-okay. And Henselman, I believe, is going back to pit road, unfortunately, for the 21. And Tyler Henselman's night is done, it looks like. He'll be taking no further part in the first of the twin 35-lap main events here this evening. Lights are still out on the lights are still on the pace truck. They go at this time by. So white flag, and no, we've not got 239 laps to go. I should explain that the original start was the white flag at lap number 35, but each caution we add 3 laps, so 2 cautions. We'll see the white flag come out at lap number 41. Smith, Davis, Roxbury, and Batista. Yeah, Batista. 3 drivers from Black Diamonds Motorsports. They ride in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. UW Motorsports driver leads the field. Team SETI in 5th. And you go back to a UW Motorsports in position 6th as well. Plenty of racing still to come. We go through turns 1 and 2. And now here comes Roxbury for the race lead. He went from 3rd, looked for a slide, a double slide job. And, well, he got shuffled back to position 3. Now here comes Batista on the inside of Davis. Batista now on the bottom side. Davis through the middle. Side by side. Oh, Trevor Royer in the Black Diamonds Motorsports, number 90 entry. Upside down. All had nowhere to go. Let's take a look at the Colby's iPaint instant replay here, just to see what happened in front of him. Looks like Pace checked up for Stephen Hill. Well, Pace might have gone into the back of field, one of the two. And Royer, well, he had nowhere to go. And inside of the cockpit. Oh, okay. So that gives us a better shot. Watch the black and blue car. 3 car lengths. He was stuck in no man's land. Man, he was lucky to escape that one. I apologise with the glitchiness. It just seems to be that Volusia has that effect on the broadcast. After trying to get money for a new graphics card, we get a good old GTX 950 in it right now. So if you know anyone that's selling a 1050 or a 1060 relatively cheap or cheap, message the page and let us know and see if we can't organise to get the better graphics card in this one. Anyhow, Smith once again, white flag at lap number 44, our third caution of the evening so far in tonight's main event. Smith, Davis, Batista, Roxbury, Nygaard, Brenner, Webster, Lepresto, Newell, and Stephen Hill, your top 10. Into turns 1 and 2 we go again. Smith fending off a charge from Nathan Davis once again. Now Davis to the low side. In the hammer down, Iron Aces, Black Diamonds Motorsports, number 36. And here comes Davis around the outside and Roxbury on the inside. The teammates are 3 wide off turn number 2. Davis back to position 3. Did he just get the wall? He may have just had slight contact with an inside wall with a big slide job. But Batista going to return serve. And now here comes Davis. Looking back to the inside in turns 3 and 4 while these guys are slide jumping each other. Oh, Davis, he got out of the bucket big time. Otherwise, he would have fenced his teammate. How about Nygaard with a slider and Roxbury? Roxbury with a crossover. Brenner and Lepresto, couple of teammates going at it for 6 and 7. Man, there is action aplenty here at Volusia. Nygaard once again with a slider on Roxbury. We go back up to the 2 team cars yet again. Man, it is hard to focus on one part of the racetrack. Oh, Nygaard into the wall. He tagged the wall in 3 and 4. And that allowed Roxbury to put the slider on. Now, well, Nygaard, he returns back the slider into turns 1 and 2. And Roxbury now with Chris Brenner. Brenner this time going to stay in the middle of the racetrack. Nygaard once again with the crossover. Battle for second once again between Batista and Davis. The 36 and 35. The 35 is Batista. The 36 of Nathan Davis. They run the top in 1 and 2. Nygaard with a slider. Oh, caution is out and Nygaard had the spot. Man, talk about getting a bit of luck going your way. And he had some luck there. The 13 of Nelson Webster slowing. Let's take a look at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay. Oh, we just caught the end of that one. I think that might have been with the 57 of Anthony Lepresto. Whoa, Lepresto got into the left rear. Oh, that's tough. As you watch the 57, Lepresto put the big slider on Brenner. He tagged the left rear of Nygaard. Brenner came through, had a little contact with Lepresto. They both kept it going. And you see here, just watch the 57. Now you see the front wheels after there was contact made with Brenner. Not this contact, not there, just there. Look at the front wheels there, picked up, they were all the way to the left. And that car, and that's what we call tight. So the 13 of Nelson Webster. And yeah, just on the front wing, if you ain't first, you're last. So there's a big slider. Well, he even got out of the gas too. You can just see it in the revs. Look at the RPM. Tack on the bottom or on the right of your screen goes from 7,000 down to 4,000, 6,000 as well. And unfortunately for Nelson Webster, that'll be his return done and dusted. Lights are out on the pace truck. Seems that people want to ring me during a broadcast. Okay, no worries, I can deal with that. Smith to lead from Batista, Davis, Nygaard, and Roxbury. And this is a good run from Nygaard. Let's hopefully he can keep that going. As the green flag is back out onto the racetrack now. Immediately Davis to the bottom side into turns number 1 and 2 on Batista. Once again side by side, and Roxbury and Nygaard also duking it out for 4th and 5th right now. Don't count out Chris Brenner as well for a top 5. We're trying to see how many laps to go. In fact, let's have a look at this. Sorry, how many cautions? We had 4 cautions for the 12 laps. So white flag lap number 47, as we've just completed the 31st. So it should be 16 to go from my calculations. And Tim Smith is now, he's under pressure. The 38 under pressure from the 35. 15 to run. Smith from Batista. And we're going to go back into this battle between 5th and 6th right now as Brenner going to put the... Oh, that was close. Brenner and Nygaard. Man, how did they not touch? Brenner up to position 4, and here comes Davis back on the inside of his teammate Batista, and now Brenner starting to come back to the middle of the racetrack. Remember, Brenner started on the outside of the front row. Davis trying everything, throwing everything. Oh, Nygaard into the wall. He keeps it going. He's going to lose a couple of spots. And he has got an ill-handling race car right now. He would just be trying to tell everyone he might have a bent race car. Just let him on by. Oh, Stephen Hill. Steve Minor got into Stephen Hill. Oh, Davis has got a broken rear end on that race car as well. Oh, Davis is out of the event. Oh, man, this just sucks for some of these drivers. And how about the luck right now? Smith on the bottom side. Here comes Brenner on Batista.
That was 10 to go.
10 to go. There you have it. Batista and Brenner side by side down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4. And Brenner with a slide job on Batista. Batista back underneath him at the line. You can't split the two right now. How about Smith? He is working the bottom side. We are less than a heat race distance. Brenner and Batista continuing to fight this one out. And Brenner working the top side of the racetrack. If he can keep it off the wall, he may just have a shot here. Brenner goes to the bottom in 3 and 4. In fact, he uses the slide job line of Batista. And he's going to clear him out of turn 4. And now Batista. He is falling back right now. But, well, let me tell you, we've only got about, I think, 5 to run this time by. In fact, it might be 6. No, we should be on 5. Smith from Brenner, and Brenner is closing in right now on your race leader, Smith. 5 to go. There you have it from race control, ladies and gentlemen. Smith under all sorts of pressure from his teammates. Smith on the bottom side, Brenner literally all over the racetrack, and I don't mean that in a bad way because he's trying to find a way around the 38. He leaves the door open into 1 and 2. Oh, Batista caught the wall. Can he hang on? Into 3 and 4. 3 to go. Smith and Brenner duking it out. The teammates, let me tell you, there'll be no love lost here on the racetrack. Smith, well, that may just be the race because Brenner tagged the wall on the back straight away with 2 laps to go. Oh, caution, caution, caution.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, man, who was that? It was John Batista in the 35. Let's take a look at the Colby's eye paint instant replay. There is definitely a broken rear end of that race car. He was just trying to get it back to the pits, trying to do the right thing, and just caught the tires. Wow, John LaPresto was lucky there not to get into him. But what that sets us up for What that will set us up for is a green-white checker. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be epic right now. And the teammates, Smith, Brenner, and Lepresto, all right in positions 1, 2, and 3. Oh boy, are we in for an absolute belter of a finish. And now this is just race 1. Race 2 will be up shortly after this one.
You were coming to the 2 to go anyway, so I guess it probably will end up being that.
Wait from race control.
Green, white checker go.
There we go. Confirmation, a green, white checker incoming. Now this restart is going to be also important for that 38. If he's going to hang on to put that car in victory lane, it's the restart is where it will be won or lost, I should say. So 2 laps to go. Smith, Brenner, and Lepresto. This has just been an epic night so far, an epic night of racing. And just think, this is only the first one. We've still got race number 2 to come up after this one. Green flag is back out. Green, white checker. And Tim Smith, whoa, what a gap. He's put half a second between himself and Brenner. But Brenner wastes no time to fight back on the inside, and Western Newell takes over position 3. Lepresto. Oh, that was a massive bit of netcode. Caution is out. Caution, caution, caution. And the classic case of netcode, and we were right on that one. And we're going to show you on the Colby's iPads instant replay. And we'll give you from, like, he wasn't even close to him. We'll give you from the chopper view. We'll give you another look. This time from Western Newell's point of view. Stephen Renault just seeing turns 1 and 2 at the bottom of your screen. Now there's a crossover. Keep it on the black and white car, right, like, and that just goes to show you. Dylan Workman involved, got into the side of Renault. And speaking of Workman, we'll come back to that one in just a moment. Dylan Workman in the Buffalo Wild Wings 82. Let's recap this one just before we go green, white checker next time by. In fact, I'll make sure the lights are still on the pace truck. Yes, they are. So we're going to focus right here on the 82. He wins the B main. He jumps the start in the B main. So to start this race off, he gets an EOL. He was scheduled to start position 24. Right now, we've still got 11 cars on the racetrack, so still half the field. He has passed a crap ton of cars. He has passed 20 cars. He's sitting in position number 4. That 82, the Buffalo Wild Wings 82, has been on an absolute rail in this main event. Green, white checker coming back out. And once again, it's all going to be this restart. Crucial for Tim Smith.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out, and we are back underway. Into 1 and 2, the green-white checker is upon us right now. Dylan Workman looking for that 3rd and final spot on the podium and looking to pick up tonight's Hard Charger Award. Now they will race it out to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Smith leading into turn number 1 and 2. He's got 2 more corners to go. Off for corner number 2, down the back straight away. For the final time in race number 1, uses the middle. Brenner on the low side, checkered, flag is out. Checkers, checkers, checkers. Tim Smith gets the job done ahead of Chris Brenner and Anthony Lepresto in 3rd. Let's take a look at our City Group Holdings finishing results. Smith, your winner from Brenner, Lepresto, Workman, Renault, Sheridan, Dunn, Hill, John Lepresto, Roberts, Schaefer, Newell, Batista, Nygaard, Roxbury, Davis, Steele, Webster, Pace, Royer, Henselman, Lowe, Henninger, and Drew Neal. As we watch the 38 burning it down. In fact, let's get the replay on that one because, well, no doubt Tim Smith is one happy camper right now, but his teammate is just as happy for him because those drivers go 1, 2, and well, it's a UW Motorsports podium lockout here this evening. And we'll have a chat with our top 3. In fact, we'll bring up 3rd place here this evening in the 57. Anthony Lepresto. Anthony, congratulations on 3rd. You must be happy with how your race went.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where I started there, but it was somewhere towards the middle of the pack, or outside of the top 3 rows, I think there. So, yeah, ended up with a top 3 finish. I'm happy with that, and it was a UW 1-2-3 sweep there on the podium. So definitely, I'll take that for sure.
It looked like there was a lot of passing going on in this racetrack. I mean, just talk about that racetrack and what it was like to come through the field here at Volusia.
It's pretty hectic. There's not a lot of room to pass. Not sure if it's because of the time of day or what, but the slider lane there is kind of non-existent. It gets really loose on entry if you try to throw a big slider. So it's kind of follow the leader on the top, and it is what it is. But there's not really a whole lot of a cushion that forms up there either, so it makes this track kind of like just like a 1-lane deal. But yeah, it was fun nonetheless.
Well done on a 3rd place as you look to defend your 360 title from the previous season. I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank my team, UW Motorsports. Got to thank all of our sponsors, Wicked Cushion, Ultimate Dirt TV, Next Gen Fab, Colby's Eye Paints. Thank DLB for running this thing, and thank you, Brett, for casting. As always, you do a hell of a job, so thank you for that, and see you guys in the next one.
There we have it. Anthony Lepresto in 3rd place, coming home in 2nd place. He had to work his way back up through the field, but he done it, and he had a chance to pick up the race win, but fell 1 spot shy of where he would like to be. Chris Brenner, congratulations on 2nd. Man, that looked like the fun racetrack out there tonight.
Yeah, that ended up being a blast. I had some bad luck getting into Jason early on, maybe the 1st lap or 2nd lap, something like that. Fell back to maybe 7th place or so, and I found a line in 3 and 4, and I just made my way back up front to Tim, and he unfortunately found my line, and I wasn't able to get by him in time. Hats off to Tim and Anthony for giving me a hard time back there too. We traded some slide jobs. That was a lot of fun. Overall, man, I can't be upset about 2nd place.
Man, talk about that race. And I mean, you said Tim found the line. Is that a case of you guys being on maybe Discord together and you say, hey, look, maybe try this line, or do you kind of just keep your mouth shut and run your own race and let him figure it out as well, or do you give each other a bit of help in that regards?
Oh, I wouldn't tell him anything.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I just wanted to double check. Hey, congratulations on 2nd. No doubt there's plenty of people you want to thank.
Thanks, Brett. Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett up in the booth. Thanks for doing that awesome broadcast all the time. Dirty Old Bastards, Chris, Tyler, everybody else involved, Alan. Thanks for putting on a fun series. Teammates UW Motorsports, and our sponsors, Wicked Cushion, Ultimate Dirt TV, Colby's Eye Paints, and Next Gen Fab. Thanks for the support.
There we have it. Chris Brenner comes away with the 2nd place, but he was not to be outdone here tonight, leading the entire field and the entire 35 green flag laps here this evening. Tim Smith, Tim, congratulations on the win. You must be excited about picking up a 360 win here at Volusia.
Absolutely, man. It's been a while, so it definitely feels good to win one of these things.
Man, that race, I mean, we talk about it from the start. You, Batista, Davis, you guys literally just pretty much tore the roof off this joint. This joint doesn't have a roof. So, I mean, you guys just done a fantastic job in that one. Talk about what was going through your mind on the first initial green-white checker, knowing that you had Brenner and Lepresto, right in behind you.
I just wanted the race to be over with. I did not want to see that last caution come out for sure, especially with Brenner and Lepresto. They're some of the best to do this stuff. So to be able to hold them off was going to be no easy task. I knew I had to get a good restart. And luckily both of them, I got a nice jump on them where they couldn't throw a slider at me or do nothing crazy.
Now, Brenner was sort of running through the middle of turns 3 and 4. He said you found that line a little bit later than what he did. Was that something that you could see in your mirror or anything like that, or you weren't too focused on looking back and just trying to focus on hitting your marks? I mean, what was going through your mind and how did you find it?
No, I wasn't doing any mirror driving. I was trying to focus straight ahead of me. I was running the bottom there for a while, and I could hear him getting close. So I figured I'd switch something up and kind of do a slider line through the middle, I guess. And it was enough to hold him off.
Well, whilst you picked up the win here this evening for race number 1, round number 2 of the 360 Wing Sprint Car Series presented by Volusia Corporation, and well, we'll hand it over to you. Who do you want to thank that makes it all happen for you?
Oh, definitely wickedcushion.com for coming on board and sponsoring me, not only in my virtual racing, my real racing, UW Motorsports, all my teammates, Colby's Eye Paints, Next Gen Fab, and everybody at Dirty Old Bastards.
All right, there we go. Tim Smith with the win here in race number 1. Race number 2 up on the program next. We're going to shut this stream off. We'll have another one up, so make sure you come back and watch race number 2. If it's anything like race number 1, no doubt it is going to be entertaining as all hell. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you very, very shortly for race number 2 of the Volusia Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards 360 Wing Sprint Car Series live right here on Ultimate Dirt TV from Volusia Speedway Park. We'll be right back.